YouTube, what's going on today, guys? Today we are going to be ranking candy on today's tier list Tuesday. If you guys haven't been here before, we do this every single Tuesday where we do a different tier list. Whether it be, this is a Call of Duty channel for the time being, we're kind of making a few changes here and there going forward. If you guys haven't heard about that, yesterday's video will explain that a little bit more. But we are doing a little bit of candy tier list today. I'm really excited about this because Halloween's coming up, guys, and I'm very excited for it. And obviously, Halloween's one of those holidays where you either love it or hate it, but I've never been like an absolute freak for Halloween, but I love candy. So let's rank these up for you guys as fast as possible and jump into it. If you guys do like today's video, though, where I am going off and doing a little bit different tier list, make sure you guys do drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel so you can find your way back for more, and comment below what you guys want to see next because there's so many things we can do on this channel. I love you guys, and let's jump into it. All right, you guys, so it doesn't look like there's any particular order here. Maybe it's an alphabetical order, actually. I think it is. Good for them. But it starts with a number here. We got 100 grand bar. Honestly, not one of my favorites, but I will put it at like an average rank. I don't think it's amazing by any means, but it is like a solid candy bar. I'm not going to go pick it out on my own, but if I do have one in my trick-or-treating basket, I'll eat it 100%. Three Musketeers, in my opinion, is an A tier. I know this is a candy bar that a lot of people have strong opinions about. You either love it or hate it. I'm one of those people that loves it. I just like the fluffiness of it. It's completely different than any other candy bar, and I love the taste of it. I do love chocolate, though, so I know it's a little bit of a ballsy decision here to put it in A tier, but I love it, so it's going A tier. Airheads, oh, man, out of like all gummy candy, this is definitely like a very good one for me. I think I'm going to put Airheads at an A tier. I feel like Airheads have like a special spot for me though, because I had like a few teachers growing up that gave you Airheads a bunch, and like they were so much fun. Like you used to trade them with friends and stuff like that back in elementary school. And so I have a little bit special spot for them, but I do think Airhead is a classic candy for a gummy candy that's very good. And I don't think there's anyone really out there that doesn't like them. Do you guys remember shaking them and making them smaller? If you guys never done that, go buy an Airhead tomorrow. Full size Airhead, just shake it. And like literally go like this and like back and forth with it and see how small it gets. It's kind of crazy if you guys haven't seen it before. Almond Joy. This is a candy that I refused to eat growing up, and I actually like it now. Where am I going to rank this? Oh my God. I would never buy an Almond Joy on its own, so I'm going to put it at C tier as well. But that is a candy that like growing up, my grandma convinced me that I didn't like them because it was her favorite candy. I'm convinced that's why I don't like them, because it was her favorite candy, and she was like, yeah, you don't like those, just give them all to me. I actually like them. I figured that out about probably 2 years ago. So about 25 years into my life, I was like, wow, these are actually pretty good. So, good for me. Baby Ruth bar. This one is like, this is like the oldest school candy bar you can get. You know, good old Caddyshack, throwing it in the pool. It's a solid candy bar. I'm going to put it at C tier as well. You know, it's not great. It's not horrible. C tier. Are these blow pops? I think this is a blow pop from what I could see here. I'm gonna put a blow pop at F tier. Like the flavors were never great on the sucker. Like it wasn't as good as like your other suckers you'd get, or lollipop, whatever you want to call it. And the gum inside of it didn't have any different flavor, so it was never great. Never. Butterfinger. Honestly, this is like S tier tasting, but the fact that I gotta pull that stuff out of my teeth when I'm eating it, like, and you feel like you literally have just like it building up on your teeth every single bite until you like rub your teeth around a little bit, why it's going B tier. I love the taste of Butterfinger. It's fantastic, but like, I feel like my teeth are like hurting just thinking about it. Candy corn. Candy corn is that one that people freaking hate or love. I actually really like candy corn, but I'm definitely going to put it C tier. Like, I don't hate it, but I obviously have, like, been to the store a few times and I've seen candy corn, and I've been, like, to my wife, like, do you like candy corn? Like, I always forget if she does or not, and she's like, no, who likes that? And I'm like, I actually do. And she's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, it's like, if you get, like, fresh candy corn, it's pretty good for a few bites, but, like, after a few of them, like, you're just kind of over it, so it's solid. I'll put it at C. This is another one of those candy bars. Like, you had that one friend that loved these and the one friend that hated them. And I never, like, absolutely hated them, so I won't put it F tier like the blow pop. But the candy apple sucker is just ugh, it's not it's not as good as a real one. Like if I'm comparing it to an actual candy apple. So I don't know. Didn't love it. What is this? Circus peanuts? I don't think I ever really had those, so I'll put them there at no rank. Don't really have an opinion on them. Crunch Bar. I'm gonna put that at D tier. Crunch Bar is probably the worst candy bar out there of just like pure chocolate. Maybe not the worst, but like it just is like so underwhelming. When you eat it, it's like I would rather have a Hersheys bar that's just pure chocolate than having that little bit of crunch in it. Like the crunch doesn't do anything to it. So I never loved it. If you loved it out there, I'm sorry, but it's the most underwhelming candy bar you're getting. There's no like explosion of taste. It's just like a chocolate bar that crunches a little bit. Dots, they're going F tier for me, bro. I think anyone that likes Dots is borderline psychopathic. Like these things are literal rubber. Like I have never grabbed Dots and like took a bite of one and been like, this tastes like candy. They taste like rubber flavored candy. Like they're just rubber. And then you put a little bit of like lemon in there or cherry or lime, whatever flavor you're eating. And they're so chewy. Another one of those where it gets stuck in your teeth. No, just F tier, 100%. I'm sure someone out there is going to be pissed because I do know some people that actually love them. Double Bubble. Double Bubble to me has like a special thing because I played baseball in college, and so like every year there was always someone that brought a bucket of this at some point or another. So I'll probably leave it at C tier. But let's be honest, the first 30 seconds of that, S tier, 100%. Then it's F tier after that. So I'll put it at C tier. We'll find a middle home for that, even though it's sentimental. The Sucker. This is like these are dum-dums. They're just as bad as F tier. Like these were always like that thing that like that teacher that was super cheap, which obviously teachers don't make a lot of money. So I guess I shouldn't be saying anything like that. Respect and love all teachers out there. Other than if you were an asshole to kids at some point, you didn't need to be, because there are teachers like that. But back to my story, all the teachers that I didn't really like gave these out. And so I never really liked them very much. I think there's a couple good flavors. I think I was scarred for life when I tried the bubblegum flavor, and I don't think I've ever had one since. So they're just very average. Yo, Fun Dip slaps. Fun Dip is a B tier, 100%. It's not something you want to eat every day, but it slaps. Like when you get that good like stick of it, oh, so good. Underrated, 100%. Gobstoppers. Ooh, I went through a Gobstoppers phase at one point. I'll probably put them at C tier. Like the only issue with Gobstoppers is they last so long, which I get it. Everlasting Gobstoppers, but I personally would rather just eat them. If they're a little bit softer and you can like just like chew through them, they'd be really good to eat. But I don't got the patience, or my teeth just hurt these days. I got sensitive teeth. I'm getting a little older. Honestly, I've had sensitive teeth my whole life, so solid. I liked them in like class. They're good for like in class sucking on. Gummy bears, when they're fresh, are pretty hard to beat. Like I love a good like handful of gummy bears. When they're solid, it's good. But I think it's another C tier. I think we're gonna get a lot of C tiers today because I don't love them, I don't hate them, but I'm never gonna go out of my way to buy them. So, but when I get a good handful of them where they're nice and soft, they're fire, absolute heat. And sometimes I do get them in my like frozen yogurt. So I'll put them at C tier. Hersheys Bar. I think a Hershey Bar is an A tier. You can do so much with a Hersheys Bar. A good old s'mores. Can't go wrong with it. Solid ass candy bar right there. Hershey's Cookies and Cream, I also really, really like, but I don't think you can compare it to like the milk chocolate one. I think it goes B tier. I think I personally would buy a Cookies and Cream one more than the Hershey's milk chocolate, so that might be a little confusing, but I feel like you just can't beat that Hershey's. Like when you have it, even the small like fun size ones just absolutely slap. It is good to get, like if I'm going to a gas station, I would 100% buy the Cookies and Cream though, but I just don't think you can compare the two. Like you can, because obviously they're made by Hershey's, but I think that's just like a classic. It goes so good with so many different things. You can do so many things with that Hershey's bar. It's amazing. Hot tamales, F tier. I've never liked them. I've never once in my life wanted a candy that's spicy. I know people like spicy food, and I love spicy food, but I like Mexican spicy food. I like Indian spicy food. I like spicy food, but like I'm not doing hot tamales for fun. Like why? Jelly beans, another F tier. that was the one thing. Like Easter every year, it was like, here's your jelly beans. I'm like, get these out of here. Like, Mom, you buy these every year. For why? Like, there was like my mom would always buy like a jar of them and like put them around. And I'm like, why? And then the Easter Bunny would bring them, and you're like, why? No one likes jelly beans. Come on. And then we got Jolly Ranchers. I'm gonna put them at D tier just because like they were good to suck on in school. I will be honest. That's another one of those cheap candies that people would give us. My dog actually, we had a friend stay the night once, and she had a bag of them because she was taking him to like a camp that she was going to the next day. My dog Toby, if you guys have been around the streams, ate an entire bag, like this big of a bag, and he shit out every one of the wrappers. I thought he was dying that night, but nope, he just shit him right out. He didn't even act like anything happened. It was hilarious. Junior Mints, F tier. I know some people really like these, and obviously you have to be a chocolate and mint person to like them, but no. Don't. It's like brushing your teeth and eating a chocolate bar. Like, why would you want to do that? Kit Kat, A tier. Actually, I'm blowing S tier. We haven't got an S tier yet. I love a Kit Kat. Kit Kats are so clutch. Like, such a good candy bar. And honestly, they're good when they're cold. They're good when they're, I guess you can't really say warm because, like, when a chocolate candy melts, it's not that good. But it's still good. It just gets on your fingers a little bit. Like, Kit Kat's just clutch. Laffy Taffy, another F tier. I know some people that like Laffy Taffy. I actually really like a standard taffy. But Laffy Taffy, it's fake and not good. So, Lemonhead, I'm going to put it at D tier. It's fun to get a little sour and a little sweet at the same time. They're solid for a little bit, but definitely would, if I even got, say I went trick-or-treating today, I probably wouldn't eat it. I'm going to be honest. Lifesavers. I actually really like these flavored Lifesavers. Like, for a gummy, these are like one of my favorites. I'm actually going to put them at B tier. These were super underrated, I'll be honest. I like buying like the big bag of them. I went through a phase in college where I bought the big bag of them a bunch. And if I am buying a gummy, I'd probably say it's my favorite gummy. So that's solid. I like them. Like them a lot. I was thinking the gummy bears would be higher than that, but the flavor of the Lifesavers are way better than gummy bears. So W to Lifesavers. M&Ms. M&Ms are, I'm going to go A tier. M&M McFlurry. Do I have to say anything more? Like, that shit slaps when you go to McDonald's. So, and also, like, there's so many different forms of M&Ms these days. So, like, the peanut butter M&Ms, don't even get me going. Mike and Ike's. Mike and Ike's. Mike and Ike's. You like Mike and Ike's? You like Mike and Ike's. Who remembers that? That's a little skit back in the day. Can I have your number? Can I have your number? Such a great one. Mike and Ike's, another F tier for me. I never thought the flavor was good enough on them. Like, they weren't, like, gross or anything, but, like, I just felt like I was chewing on, it was kind of like dots. Flavor's not good enough for me. Milk Dots, I'm gonna go D tier. They're not bad, but, like, you bite into the wrong one, and man, I feel like your tooth is about to break. So, I'd put them above the F tier, but they're like a borderline F tier for me. Milky Way. This is a slept on one, I feel like, every year. I feel like no one ever really loved the Milky Way, but it's a solid candy bar. Like, that's a good chocolate caramel combination. I love a Milky Way every once in a while. Never really gonna buy one on my own, to be honest, but, like, those were great for Halloween candy. Like, that was, like, the most underrated one every year, I feel like. Mr. Goodbar. A little peanut, a little chocolate. I'll put it C tier. Maybe as I've gotten older, maybe I'd put it B tier, but it's like a Crunch Bar, but with peanuts. And I love peanuts, but I just would prefer like a Hershey's bar. That's just my thought on it. Nerds. Oh my God. I haven't had Nerds in forever. Do they still do Nerds and Sonic Blasts or Sonic Freezes? Those were so fire when they put that in there originally. I haven't had one of those in forever though, so I don't even know if they do that anymore. But I'll put them at C tier. I think Nerds is a solid candy, especially if you just like suck on them. But if you just start chewing on them, like that ish gets in your teeth, and no. The Payday, literal chocolate and peanuts. It's literally like the Mr. Goodbar, but like 10 times more peanuts. So I'm gonna put it at D tier. I don't think it's a bad candy bar. Like I can eat it, but not gonna do it on a daily basis. Oh, we got peanut butter M&Ms, or peanut M&Ms on here. Peanut M&Ms, I would say, are just below regular M&Ms. So they're a solid B tier. They're honestly, like, great if you're, like, out golfing. or something like that. Like where you need like you want that little bit of sugar rush, but like you don't want to feel like a fat ass. So peanut M&Ms are like that perfect middle ground. Are these pixie sticks? Oh my god, I'm gonna have to put those D tier because they're pretty bad, but those were great growing up. You know, those were always fun. Just dumping them in your mouth. Oh, not bad. Pop Rocks, another D tier. There's a lot of bad candy out there. I would say Pop Rocks are not bad. Like they're fun when you're like. I specifically remember someone giving to me at like Little League for the first time when I was probably like 8, and I was like, "Wow, these are so cool!" And I went to buy them again, and I was like, "Wow, they're not that cool." But the flavor on them is actually pretty good. But it's one of those old school candies. Red Vines, I'm gonna put D tier. I personally don't like licorice very much. I know some people absolutely love Red Vines, so that's another one there. It's either gonna be like top of the list for you or like towards the bottom. So I don't love them. I actually won't eat them. So should I put them at F tier? I'll put them at D tier because I could eat them if I wanted to. I think they're relatively decent, but I won't eat them. Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, S tier. If you don't put the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup in your S tier, like I just want you to get up out of this video right now and leave. Like you're not allowed here anymore. The Reese's Peanut Butter Cup is the perfect candy. It is the best candy in the entire world. Not arguable. It's peanut butter and chocolate. If you're allergic to peanuts, I understand. I don't want you to die. So you can come back and watch the rest of the video. But Reese's Peanut Butter Cup is the best rank 1 candy bar. And it's been that way since I was little. And I thought maybe at some point I'd get sick of it. And I still want to buy it every single time I go to the store. Gas station. They have so many good kinds of Reese's. Oh, so good. Reese's Pieces, I would probably put at... I'm gonna put it at B tier. I don't think they're as good as M&Ms. I think they're solid though. Like I enjoy Reese's Pieces when I go on like airplanes and stuff like that. So I have like a bag of them that like they usually come with a zip up bag. I like them. I like them a lot, but I don't think they're as good as M&Ms. Like nowadays, I'd rather get peanut butter M&Ms instead of Reese's Pieces, but I still like Reese's Pieces. The Ring Pop, I'm gonna put at D tier. I think I've eaten through one Ring Pop ever, and I could do it again. The flavor is good. I've always thought the flavor was good, but like I never liked sucking on it like that. Like let me just like it's like a binky on your finger. I don't know. The idea is great when you're a little kid and you're like, oh look at my bling, but no. Rolos, that's a B tier. That's a sleeper. That's a major sleeper. You don't really get that handed out for candy though very often. I will be honest, you don't get that very often, but. Out of like a candy bowl at like some family house, like a couple of my relatives would have these out in like a bowl. Ooh, feel those together. They slap. Underrated. Skittles, S tier. S tier. I don't really like what is Skittles? Is it a gummy technically? I don't think it's technically a gummy. It's more of like just like a fruity candy. Love them. You can't go wrong. You can eat a handful of them or you can like pick them apart and like eat specific colors together. You can combine a few colors like my favorite combo. What's your guys' favorite combo? I want to know in the comments. Mine is red and purple. 100%. Kelsey's is yellow and green. Like, what is she doing? She's a psychopath, which I love her for. Which I'll get to another candy here in a second and talk about that as well. You'll know how to find someone to marry in a second here. But, love them. Skittles, great. Smarties, honestly, I'm going to put them at C tier. They're not terrible. They're not awful. Like, I could eat them, and I ate a lot of them growing up. It's one of those cheap candies that you're like I said earlier, like Jolly Rancher. And I always, like, they're always good. And then you had that dumbass that started snorting them. Like, they would just start snorting them in class. You're like, what are you doing? We're in 7th grade. Are you okay? Like, your brain is not supposed to have Smarties in it. Like, you're not getting high off Smarties either. So, what are you doing? Snickers. Snickers is, I would probably say S tier. Yeah. I think a Snickers is an S tier. It's one of those, like, another one of those candy bars that's, like, great at any time. Like, you cannot go wrong at any point in time with a Snickers. You just can't. They're solid as hell. Sour Patch Kids goes to B tier for me. I just don't love eating sour a lot. A few Sour Patch Kids are absolute fire. But, like, an entire bag's a little too much for me. And if you ever got the watermelon ones, those are good. Those are real good. Starburst, I'm going to put them at A tier. I know some people, like, I had a couple teammates in, like, high school and college that were, like, they had to have Starburst every day. If my boy Jeff out there watches this video, he loved Starburst. That dude had them in his bag every day. So they're a clutch ass snack because they don't really, here in Arizona, everything melts. So like if you want a little sweet, like they're clutch for sure. And my favorite combination, another one, let me know in the comments, red and pink. I think that's got to be the most, like the two favorites. But the reason I married my wife, specifically, only reason I married my wife is because she likes the yellow and green, or yellow and orange ones. So I got to never eat those, which I think they're fine. I would eat them on my own. But the fact that I get all the red and pinks and she gets those, sign me up. Right on the line. Married. Sweetest fish. Ass. They're bad. Real bad. Sweet tarts. I always like sweet tarts. They're like Smarties, but a little sweet and then a little tarty at the end. A little sour to them on the back end. Solid. Very, very solid. A classic sucker. I think this is like a B tier. I like the Tootsie Roll in the middle, the Tootsie Pop, always good. And then I don't know if you guys had like a water and ice around you growing up. If you had one that had like a star on it, you got a free. I got a free snow cone. So that was amazing. I don't know if anyone else had that around them or if they still do that by any means. I want to know if they still do that. I haven't done that since like probably 6th, 7th grade. But every time you had one with a star on it that you got from their machine, you got a free snow cone. And it was like every third one. So it was like, do people just not know about this or what? Because they're really cheap. Tootsie Pop. Or sorry, Tootsie Roll now. I honestly don't mind Tootsie Rolls, but I'm going to probably put them at D tier. I just don't think I have any interest in eating them at this point in time in my life. There's like have you guys ever had Fruities? Fruities is like a Tootsie Roll, but fruit flavored. Absolutely slaps. They're like crack. We had an issue with our baseball team in high school at one point with how many Fruities we ate. Twix. Oh, that's another S tier, honestly. You can't go wrong with either of those 5 at the top. Reese's is definitely my number 1, but like those are great candy bars. The Twix, though, I will say if it is a little too cold, like you put it in the freezer on accident or the fridge, like that caramel dit's a little tough to eat, but like a perfect room temperature Twix slaps. Twizzlers goes in that same spot as Red Vines. They're the same to me. Nothing, like I said, I don't hate them. I don't love them. Warheads. Warheads were a fun candy for Halloween. So I'll put them at C tier. But at the end of the day, like all it is like a sour thing for like, they're sour for like a minute and then they go sweet. So they're good. They're solid. Whoppers, I'm going to put at D tier. My grandma absolutely loved these and had them all the time. And so I've eaten a lot of Whoppers in my life, but I just don't think I'd ever sit there and go, I want a Whopper. They're bad. Like, they're not great. Like, they're not horrible by any means, but that's a bad ranked candy. Like, they're not good. Sorry, Grandma. I love you. But other than that, guys, that is every one of these candies. I want to know how you guys ranked it on your guys' side. I am covering, actually, it's not really covering anything, actually. They have the sweetest fish right here at the end. So nothing's being covered. Hope you guys did enjoy today's video. Guys, if you guys did enjoy today's video, make sure you guys do drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel and comment below what you guys want to see next, or answer those questions I asked you guys, because I want to know your favorite combinations of those candies. So I appreciate you guys for sticking around. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and peace out.